Hello ladies, it's your old pal Brian. Taking the, and I mean venerable Icon A5 up. This is the first big plane, 1100 millimeter if you will. Aside from the slow stick that I learned how to fly, and I learned how to fly out here, and I hit that tree right above that dock twice. I was able to reach up and get it. I do find humor. Alrighty, see if we can get her to level out and let's take off. Get up one of the steps. Taking off! Noisy little 3-blade prop. It's funny because now that I'm starting to fly other aircraft, as much as I appreciate this one,
12.2 volts.
It's ever so slightly underpowered comparatively, but I love it. I love the ultra micro too. I've crashed that thing out here so many times it's embarrassing. I think what I did with it was I actually flew it outside its range. But yeah, I've broken the tail off of this honestly maybe a dozen times. Hey, and forgive me fella on the DZ icon side, but that was a great idea in reference to a face shield. I actually have laying around a face shield that I never use. In fact, a little backstory on it, I bought it so I could adjust tracking on my 450 size helicopter, and I would literally sit and look with my face up against that helicopter with that shitty Chinese face shield. And in retrospect, I have to think that God loves me because I should have been blinded. Never did have a blade come loose while I was looking at it, but I'd had blades come loose previous.
12 volts.
That's a special kind of dumbass. But yeah, I might pull that face shield and see what she looks like. Yeah, and painted a little dark smoke or black, it doesn't matter. I don't have anybody sitting in my seat in the big one. Gluing is coming along. I'm gonna have to bolster some of the little wooden parts on the motor and on the wing mount. Bent the aluminum tube holding the wings.
12 volts.
But who knows when I did that. I might have done it on another crash. Hey there, little blue heron. Yeah, I got so spritey flying this thing, I bring her in like so, and it would be quite a distance further away and I wouldn't know it. Nice little flyby. Neat airplane. So I have a great love for it. There's two airplanes that I am slightly skeeved out about that I own.
11.9 volts.
Do a flyby here. And that's the big version of this. And my, oddly enough, my Durafly T28, I lose orientation on it in the morning real easy. So it's going to have to be an afternoon flyer at my club. It's such a pretty airplane. What do I say? Much like my sister-in-law, it looked good at a distance. You get up close and it's woof. A little drawed up, worn out. But it's the beauty of foam. Now, this is with a stabilizer in it. I might have mentioned I had a stabilizer in this previously and found it upon doing some work And I had, what, 4 observations. One, I forgot that I'd had a stabilizer in it. Let's go ahead and do some clockwise. 2, I had it pointed backwards, which is not such a big deal because you could program it backwards. But I put it in backwards because there was no instructions with the damn thing. And I'm a half a goof. But I had adjusted what I thought was appropriate for
11.7 volts.
it being backwards. I'd had the gain set on it so low that there was very little input from the stabilizer, so it really actually would not have done me any good. And the humorous part, the most humorous part, is that I had the rudder stabilized backwards. So whenever I was giving it rudder input, it was really fighting me, and thank God I didn't have the gains set high. So I'd not played with it for probably 1.5 or 2 years, and one of the fellows, I think it's DMRC, a real nice guy out of Virginia, did a setup video
11.6 volts.
on these things, and it spelled it out properly and how to set it up. Additionally, I had taken and I had my excuse me just a second. Additionally, I'd had my Park Zone Cub that came to me stabilized, and what I did was I used the throws that they used as a measure to determine what type of level of stabilization I needed or gained, and I plugged that into 2 of my beavers, my Tundra, this,
11.5 volts.
and I can't remember the other one I might have stabilized. Landing! See if I can grease this. It's so terrible at landing this thing. Oh, that's pretty good. Nice. Taking off! So what else? Hope everything's going good in your worlds. Renfield, that feller in Texas. Foamy.
11.4 volts.
Flyer Bob. Who else? Oh, and all you other fellows whose handle I forgot, but whose personality I remember. Flying 2200 nanotechs in this particular airframe. Oh yeah, the worst part about my DZ loss yesterday was I lost my friggin' wide angle run cam that I use. Mobius action cam, and it's right about here
11.4
in the
volts.
water, and it's probably in 5 foot of water, but man, I don't have any snorkel gear, and I think visibility is about zipped down there. I'd love to have the little card back. I'd done a lot of really nice flying yesterday, and that's what hurts the most. You know, this thing, it really is sweet. I don't know what's going on with the other one, the wheeled version. It doesn't fly as nice as this. Maybe it's not been as seasoned.
Volts.
So the run cam will be in next week, and it has better white balance than the Mobius, as best I can tell, and frankly it's cheaper, and it's going to be orange too. And I tell you, the fact of the matter is, and that's the other fella whose name escapes me, I try to do things cost effective for me, and since I don't use these things to fly FPV with, I I'm not interested in latency, although the run cam's latency is definitely shorter than the old Mobius.
11.2 volts.
But it's loss of airframe. I just need to be able to tolerate a loss of airframe, and that's why I don't fly GoPro. Not to mention that it has a god-awful bit of wind resistance. Okay, let's try to grease this one. Oh shoot! Now we're gonna have to do this again. Taking off. First one was better. All right.
11.3.
Getting into tree zone over there. All right, landing. Oh, that's better. Cool. All right, childrens, as always, it's a pleasure to visit with you, and I think that's it on my vlog for the day. I'm going to run out the rest of the camera on aerial flights.
Throttle hold.
See ya. Oh, and for you thinking about, let's see if you can see this, thinking about
11.4 volts.
in stabilization on this airframe, this is about what I got. It's switchable, I can shut it off, but there's a throw on the rudder, or the elevator. There's very little throw on the rudder, you don't really need it. And this is your roll. It's about 1 millimeter. That's gonna work great when you're trying to fight the wind. It allows for, frankly, a longer flying day. And that's huge for me, because not every day is dead calm. And, you know,
Telemetry lost.
having a little bit more time in the air is awesome. See ya.
.4 volts. Throttle warning. Warning.
The Tundra is ready to fly.